fired that up as we're going.
And
I'm waiting for the Icecast.
we are on YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
Let's see how long it takes for FIFA to pull this.
I was wondering that actually, yeah. Although to be honest, you can't see that
So
well
blown
what's
out.
going on. I was going to say because of the glare from the screen and that, you couldn't really say anyone's going to watch that instead of whatever they normally do.
Okay, people, you'll have to share the YouTube link. I'm not gonna do this. I just want to start now.
Okay, Icecast is running. Okay.
I've been up for way too long, and we need to get the show started.
Icecast is running, yeah. So people are going to see behind the curtain a little bit here, but if I'm going to play the first clip for the South Park thing, and then if you want to play the usual intro after that.
Give me a second.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not going to play it right now.
I can't post the link for YouTube. Sorry. It'll be on the YouTube page. Fuck this. What the fuck's going on? Can't copy and paste this. What the hell? Oh, that worked. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I see it now.
Right. So I'll start recording. First of all. Say something.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I should probably start recording as well. 1, 2. Hello.
So what did you say? What do you want to do?
I'm going to play the thing that you said. You said you wanted me to play it, the clip at the start. It's like 50 seconds or something, and then after that, if you just start as normal, play your bumpers and all the rest of it as normal. So you see what I mean? So just before you get the 6 Gun Productions and all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
I'll give you a warning in the IRC when it's coming to an end. Okay. Let me just check I've got the volume turned up. I haven't. That would help. Okay. Let's see if this works.
Tell me when.
Yeah, that's volume. Okay. Are you happy then? Are we ready?
Right. Let's start.
All right. Let's just do this then. Let's see how it goes. Okay. So this is the first clip, a special one for the 350.
Say, would you crackers like to hear about the time we saw the Loch Ness Monster?
No, that's okay.
Oh, must have been about 7 years ago. Me and the little lady was out on this boat, you see, all alone at night. When all of a sudden this huge creature, this giant crustacean from the Paleolithic era comes out of the water.
We were so scared, Lord, I remember I jumped up in the boat at that time. And what on earth is that creature?
It stood above it looking down with these big red eyes.
Oh, it was so scary.
And I yelled, I said, "What do you want from us, monster?" And the monster bent down and said, "I need about $3.50.
What's $3.50?
$3.50.
$3.50? He wanted money?
That's right. I said, "I ain't giving you no $3.50, you goddamn Loch Ness monster. Get your own goddamn money."
I gave him $1.
She gives him $1.
I thought he'd go away if I gave him $1.
Well, of course he's not going to go away, Nelly. You give him $1, he's going to assume you got more.
Linux Outlaws is proudly sponsored by ByteMark UK. Check out their Big V platform for all your web hosting needs. Find out more at bytemark.co.uk. 6 Gun Productions. New media, new rules.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Linux Outlaws 350. My name's Fab. I'm coming to you from Hanover in Germany, where I'm still celebrating the total slaughter of the Portuguese football team.
Hey, this is Dan coming to you from Liverpool in the UK, where I'm trying not to think about the total collapse of the English team. Yeah, as you heard at the top of the show there, It's episode 350 or 350, as we should call it. Just in case anyone doesn't know, that was a clip from South Park. That was Chef's parents who famously keep going on about 350 all the time. So I thought for episode 350, we should probably have that.
Yeah, that's cool. You're welcome to World Cup Outlaws. People who watch this live will see behind me. I'm actually watching the Brazil matches on right now.
Yeah, it's very
Brazil
blurry. It's hard to make out what's going on.
Mexico, yeah, that's so that FIFA doesn't pull the show. This is precaution. If I'm a bit distracted, I've been up since it's now, what is it? It's now like 9 o'clock in the evening we're recording this.
Where you
I've
are.
been up since 4 o'clock. This is my fourth club, Martin, and I'm a bit distracted by the game as well. But yeah, we'll have a massive show. It's a long one. A lot of stuff to go through. We didn't record last week because basically I was busy. I had things to do. I had to move stuff into the new flat in Hamburg, and I think you were pretty busy as well.
Continuing to do lots of different things at the moment.
You do. You have to. At some point, you have to tell people because they think you're like stealing cars and
bank
like
jobs,
murdering people. You know.
Extortion, bank jobs. Well, you've seen
you
Grand Theft
like
Auto.
GTA.
You've seen Grand Theft Auto. I was going to say no. Someone asked me that actually. Actually, one thing I have done in the last week, which I know you were frustrated by, was I met Randall Schwartz.
Oh yeah, you bastard! He went down to London. Like he Dan never went to London when I lived there. He's like, I'm not coming down there. And as soon as Randall gets there, it's like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, I hadn't seen him in person since 2009, early 2009. So
schmoozing with the stars.
Yeah. So he was getting ready for a cruise thing. But the reason I thought of that is because he also asked me what I do, because everyone seems to ask me that. I'm sure I've said this before. I work for a charity called.
Dan kills people.
Yeah, exactly. I work for a charity actually called the Workers' Educational Association. And I'm now working with them full time, so that's why I've got no time for hardly anything else. And I'm doing web stuff, and currently lots of exciting stuff, like trying to convince everyone that we need a new website nationally and regionally as well. All the different regions, because it's quite a big organisation, need to be on the same platform. And so to do that, I'm doing a survey, which is fantastic. I'm sure it's the most exciting survey anyone's ever seen. And I did make a video to promote it, though, which is quite cool, which I'll put a link in the show notes. But I made this little Mission Impossible style
I haven't
spoof.
seen this.
No, nobody.
Yeah, I think I've seen. No, I haven't seen that.
No, I don't think you have. Nobody has, really. I'll put a link in the show notes. It's only a minute long because I had to keep it to a minute, so I kept cutting it. And it was a pain in the ass. But basically, I filmed it, and I was cameraman, director, actor, catering. I was basically everything, because no other person wanted to be involved. Well, not they didn't want to be involved. I don't.
By the way, speaking of Kevin Smith, did you notice that Brazil has a defender called Hulk?
Yeah.
Isn't that a bit unfair? Having the Hulk play for do we get Iron Man?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry, we've got Iron Man. His name's Thomas Müller. Oh, you're drinking beer. He's
diving, man, not Iron Man.
Come on, Aquaman. That was a clear penalty.
It probably was a penalty, but I think it was an incredible bit of diving and play acting by him. Anyway, so yeah, I'm drinking cheap German Pilsner for export only. It's called Perlenbacher. I've never heard of it. Perlenbacher Pilsner.
Perlenbacher?
Yeah, it's from Lidl, so it's probably the cheapest stuff around. I don't know. You won't be able to see the label. Oh, I don't. I'm holding it the wrong way. You won't be able to see the label.
Perlenbacher. Yeah, I've never seen that.
It doesn't surprise me, to be honest. I'm imagining it's not a big hit in Germany. I don't know.
If it's at Lidl, it's going to be everywhere.
Lidl is usually quite good.
Next time I'm in Lidl, I'm going to check it out.
It's okay. It's not bad. It's not the best I've ever had, but it's okay.
Yeah. Apologies to all the American listeners. Not that I'm really apologizing. I'm just being polite.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's a British apology, All
right.
I'm so very sorry, which actually means go fuck yourself.
Right.
Yeah, but it's gonna be football talk. People were surprised by this. On Twitter, people were surprised that I like football.
Why?
amazing to me. I don't know. They were like, you're posting about football so much, and I was like, oh, this is new. Haven't you been around 2 years ago when the Euro was going on? Or remember the time when there was rate limited on Identica? I think that was the last World Cup.
Yeah, 2000.
I'm German. Of course, I like football. By the way, behind me, producer Katie put up the jerseys. In the
looks
right
good.
order.
Yeah,
So it's Germany, Australia, Italy in the descending order of the teams.
Italy? Why Italy?
I've always been a fan of Italy.
Really?
I like Italians. I like the way they play football.
I like pizza.
Yeah, I like pizza. I like their wine.
Ice cream.
If I was a woman, I would want the kid from Andrea Pirlo. That guy's sexy. That beard. Holy shit. And did you see that free kick?
Yeah, of course I did. It was against England. It bounced off the bar.
Of course.
It was incredible. At first, it looked like he just kind of, I don't know, just smashed it ridiculously wide.
And then it just
and then it hit the bar. So. Yeah, I don't know. So I mean, I don't know. I think you may be stereotyping Americans wrongly here. I'm not sure, but the USA played last night and dramatically won in the last minutes.
I did not see that because I had to go to bed because I was getting up at 4 and they started.
Yeah, I didn't really catch much of it, but apparently America's getting into soccer.
Soccer.
Well, I mean, apparently it's really big. It's getting bigger there now, or bigger than it has been.
I
mean, I'm not
always
saying
troll Americans and Australians, to be honest, when they say soccer.
Oh yeah.
And invariably, like the smart ass points out that some Brits came up with the term soccer at some point.
Probably.
Which doesn't It's not an argument. It's a game where you play the ball with your foot. Of course, it's called football in every other language. We call it foosball. Foosball. It's football. The Dutch call it Fitzenball or something like that. It's some version of German.
Yeah. I mean, I would have thought soccer was a game you play with your sock, isn't it?
Yeah,
exactly. Like where you do something with your sock. I don't know, your socks.
To wear shoes. What do the French call it? Something pied?
No, I can't. Possibly, yeah. Ballon pied? No, pied ballon? No,
oh my god. One other thing, very quickly. We're going to get to Linux. We lost all our listeners already, I know, but I don't care. Jesus Christ, the Spanish died.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm just noticing. I thought my beer was going to overflow there. The Dutch doing incredibly well, actually, surprisingly well, because they weren't very highly rated.
Well, I don't think the Dutch were that good. I don't like the Dutch. Disclaimer: I don't like the Dutch football.
I know that. Yeah.
I used to be a Rudi Völler fan, and that guy spat on him in the '90 World Cup. And that's the first World Cup I saw, so I'm a bit biased. But I don't think they were good. I think the Spanish just were shit. They played without a goalkeeper and without any defense.
The defense wasn't good.
I think Müller would have scored about 8 goals in that game.
Well, I mean, it remains to be seen what happens in Spain's second game, but maybe we'll get to see Spain versus Germany if they get out of the group.
Well, no, I
Spain,
think we can only meet them in the final, right?
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, if we are first in the group, then it's gonna be very easy because we play against the shit group next.
I was gonna say you've got a runner-up.
Even if we lose,
Belgium,
even if we come second, we play against the shit group. It's gonna be hard in the semifinal because that's probably gonna be Italy, and we tend to lose in semifinals against Italy. We tend to lose against Italy anyway because they're so cool. You can't phase them. Like even. What's the guy? What was the Roberto Baggio? When he put that ball over the.
He missed the penalty. Yeah.
But he wasn't expected. He was totally cool doing that. They lost, but they don't.
Apart from the awful haircut he had like a rat tail thing on the back, and I just didn't look good. I didn't think.
Did you see what they looked like? Well, you saw the game. Did you notice how they looked like they had partied like 2 nights in a row before that game? Like all the Italian players had like massive bags under their eyes and they were like half asleep during the anthem and shit.
Maybe they did. Who knows?
Meanwhile, you guys were awake, but then you've got Rooney and.
I don't think we'd slept. Yeah, I don't think we'd slept. Yeah, it didn't start so well. But then my second team, Belgium, who I got in the sweepstake for the office sweepstake, randomly, obviously. They just won, yeah. So Belgium there's a high chance Belgium could play Germany. So we may be at
that would be interesting.
We may be at loggerheads. It would be an interesting game. I still think Germany would be heavy favourites, but you never know.
Their coach used to play for Schalke, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Mark Wilmots, whatever. Yeah, he's a good player. Anyway, so enough now that we've alienated all the non-football fans.
Everybody.
What else have we got to mention? I've just noticed I haven't got the notes.
Explained why last show, why we didn't record that week, and also this is why it took me so long to get the show out. I posted about this on my blog, fabsh.com, where I keep people updated. Basically, I had shit to do. I couldn't work on it for a week, which is why it was horribly late. So sorry for that, but I really couldn't change that.
It was matured like a cheese or a wine.
Well, yeah, it's
it was matured in Fab's Fab's file store for a week. In his file cellar.
So well, what else have we had? Some things I discovered. I discovered a thing called Gorilla Beam. Which was an Indiegogo project, which I discovered it now. The Indiegogo thing failed, but I discovered it Google Plus because the guy who's still working on it. Basically, what it is, it's a 3D printed adapter. That you slide a transparent. What are they called?
Slides.
Yeah, transparency slides. Yeah, you just slide a slide.
Like they used to put in our projectors with Cassell on them and stuff.
Yeah, and then you can connect a flashlight on one end, and a lens from a DSLR on the other. And project. You need a powerful flashlight, and this will make a projector that you can carry around with you.
How did he only get 11% of his goal then? Because that sounds really good.
I don't know. He only got €1,000 basically. He wanted 10,000.
Wanted 10,000.
But I think he's still working on it. This is good. I would have supported this.
It closed on the 6th of May, so it's been closed for like a month. Over a month.
I just discovered this now. I was way too late on this. Otherwise, I would have told people to do this. It's really cool. Like if you have a really powerful. He has got some pictures. I mean, it has to be dark outside, obviously, but you can just basically beam stuff across the city, which is pretty cool. And then
that is very cool.
I just make a big penis and then just draw that on buildings.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we do with all technology eventually, isn't it? We boil it down to, can I draw a cock with this? That's how I rate technology anyway.
That or like a Firefly ad, like subversive advertising.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, we love Python here, the programming language, and there's a project called MicroPython, which is to get a version of Python that will run on microcontrollers, so on very small chips and things. It sounds quite interesting, actually.
It is a version of Python written in C.
Yeah, well, the original Python's written in C, isn't it?
Well, isn't it now? Is now the default? Isn't now PyPy the default?
There's PyPy, but well, I don't know if PyPy is the default as such. I think most people still use C Python.
Well, it's a re-implementation of Python 3, and it's as you said, it's optimized for small
boards,
small chips.
Mm-hmm.
Python, that's kind of like a snake.
Yeah, that's a cyber snake.
Of the time when I ran into the Loch Ness monster.
Loch Ness monster, yeah. And he needed about 350.
You keep giving me money, woman.
Stay tuned at the end of the show if you want to hear a bit more of that. But
no wonder it comes back if you keep giving it money.
I was listening to there's another clip coming up later where the chef's mum's going, Lordy was angry. And then damn right I was angry. Not you, the monster. He's about to kick your ass. Shut your face, woman.
I can't do the accent, but you actually do quite well. Damn, I was angry. I lost like half an hour at work today because I looked that up and then I looked up other South Park stuff. There was the thing with Kim Kardashian being a hobbit.
Yeah,
that was so funny.
There's a lot of good stuff. I lost track of South Park a long time ago. because it's still going, and I just can't keep up with it. But I haven't seen it in about, haven't seen it properly. I used to watch every episode, but once they got past like series 25,000, or whatever the hell they're on now, it's like The Simpsons. I just kind of lost track, but it's still very good and very fun.
Bitch, can you tell me again why you're not a hobbit?
Yeah. Did you see that thing on? Did you hear it? Sorry. On Hollywood Babylon about the whole people are really going to get turned off now if you've turned on listening to hear us talk about like the Linux kernel and stuff.
Well, surprise.
But there was that thing about the whole big wedding thing they had recently with Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. But have you seen the present that he gave her? That picture of her in a thong with like my best bitch or something, or my top bitch or something.
Perfect bitch. Yeah.
Perfect bitch. What the fuck is that about?
The thing they didn't mention on Hollywood Babylon was I think this actually I talked about this on No Agenda, that Kim and Kanye must be pissed as hell because that shooting happened.
Yeah, it took
the
all
day of their wedding, and they really wanted the press, but they didn't get into the press at all. I think.
Thank God.
Just a side note because because of the shooting.
Yeah, well, obviously not good that there was a shooting, but good that we didn't have to hear more about that. Anyway, we should mention the fact that David Braben, who was, he was a video games pioneer. He worked on Elite, which was a great game. He's also part of the Raspberry Pi Foundation. He's co-founder, in fact. He's been awarded a OBE, which stands for Order of the British Empire. Which is
become a office of the British Empire, which is one of the levels, I think.
Yeah. So he's got this big honor from the Queen, basically, which means I presume he has to go to the palace and get his.
I don't know. If you look at that document, it's a bloody long list.
Yeah, it is a long list, but I think they have a ceremony where they just basically the Queen sat on this thing and there's a big line of people and they just keep walking past and she goes, "Hello, hello, 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 hello," as they walk past, and that's about it, basically. Philippe.
Brazil nearly scored.
Oh, okay.
Mexico's playing really well. It's 0-0, by the way. Just updates. This is so funny if you listen to this in a week.
Yeah. I think they do a lot of these things, but I'm sure the Queen or somebody, maybe I think they farm it out. I think they let like Prince Charles do some of them, and probably the royal cat does some of them.
Philip should do it.
Yeah, he could upset a few people. Yeah.
Have your fucking manners.
Yeah, he's
you dirty German.
He's a character. Yeah,
you look like a German.
He's Greek as well.
The Duke of Edinburgh? No.
Duke of where? Westminster.
No,
he is the Duke of Edinburgh.
No, some Duke, the Queen's one of the sons of the Queen.
Oh, right. I get lost.
Visited the Raspberry Pi Foundation at the end of last year.
Nice.
So
maybe that's why he's getting the award.
Yeah, the Queen definitely knows about the Raspberry Pi. But
I
think
the best
Elite,
cup of tea ever when he visited.
Elite also plays a role.
Maybe. I like to think that the Queen had a Spectrum and she was there, waiting for it to load. Well, she had one of her servants, load it, and it took like 15 minutes or something. So that's.
And then Braben's working on Elite Dangerous now, of course, which we've talked about before.
Yep. That hugely backed online in crowdfunding. So lots of people waiting to see that.
I backed it.
Yep. And then what else have we got? Oh yeah, is it really a year? It doesn't feel like that long. It's been a year since Edward Snowden started to publish secrets online, or what people thought were secrets.
This is really bad because, when this happened, I missed it for about the first 2 weeks or something, because that was just when I lost my job in London, and I was kind of a bit busy sorting out a new job. And then I never got into that, and we paused the show for a bit, and we never talked about it on the show, and then I said, let's do a special episode at one point. Of course, we never did that. But actually, I've thought about this today, and I think the new format we have, the little bit looser form, which we actually got an email about later on, has kind of alleviated that a bit, because I'm noticing I'm putting a bit more security stuff and also like politics stuff, like digital rights.
Digital rights. Yeah.
Things in. So I'm trying to keep an eye on that. And yeah, at some point we should have. I think I wanna do a special episode. We need to sort this out. I would just like to sit down with you for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Do it offline, don't do a live show. Maybe just do we could do a live show, but basically without input, just sit down, have a cup of tea each.
Not
and,
live.
Yeah, and then just like with a little bit of a different pace, just talk about what we think has changed and reflect on it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could be useful. I think we should schedule that at some point.
Yeah, I don't know when that'll be, but hopefully, in a few weeks maybe. Once we start after the World Cup, definitely.
Yeah, it needs to be after the World Cup. I'm really busy watching. As usual, I'm trying to watch every game, which doesn't work because
it doesn't work on this time
in the middle
zone.
of the night. But that was really cool. I work at a really cool place. We watched. I stayed long at work.
Mm-hmm.
No goal line technology.
Mm-hmm.
From Germany, by the way.
From goal line technology from Germany. Oh, that's surprising. So will it say goal if there's anything to do with the German team? Will it just go goal?
Probably.
But it was nowhere near the goal. It's down the other end.
Goal, it says goal.
Yeah,
Technology doesn't lie.
Yeah.
So there you learned something. It's from near Aachen.
Okay, fair enough.
Makes this.
It doesn't surprise me.
No, what I was going to say, it's just we were at Heise, we watched the game outside. They put up a big screen and we had free beer, free sausages. That was really fun.
Free sausages as well? Wow, okay.
And free beer.
Very cool, yeah. Something that's not so cool, which has been in the news a fair bit in the UK recently, obviously it's a UK story, is that, a court they're going to hold secret trials for a couple of guys who are accused of terrorism, accused of kind of terrorist acts and so on in the UK, and they're not going to be able to. Well, the public won't be able to kind of. Or actually, they reckon it's it's going to be difficult. The judge, if I remember rightly, ruled that they shouldn't have completely secret trials, but then again, it still looks like it's going to be strange. So the situation is these two guys who were on, who are known as A, B, and CD, apparently, and that's obviously code names.
They're not naming them.
Yeah, they're not naming them. So they're code names. The only thing I remember reading somewhere that they were both, I think, 23 years old or something like that, and from London. I seem to remember hearing that. So anyway, these two men, they've been charged with terrorism, and journalists are forbidden from even disclosing that the thing was happening, that they've been charged.
Well, actually, the Daily Mail, I linked an article from, this is The Guardian, and this Guardian article starts with the Daily Mail and the left don't often find themselves on the same side. But when they do, it's worth paying attention. The Daily Mail is absolutely right, not a sentence you will catch me typing on a regular basis, to splash on Britain's first secret trial. So basically, the Mail fought to even report on this. They had to fight, I think, in court to even be
publish
able
the
to
headline.
talk about this trial. So it sounds very much like those FISA courts in the US, which is horrible. Now, this is especially horrible because this seems to be me like they're doing away with the Magna Carta, basically.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that.
Which was established in 1215.
So it's like 800, almost 800 years old.
Not to pick on Americans, but like if you're American, like even if you're German, our country was founded in 1871. Like 1215. Let that sink in for a moment. How long that tradition has been there, and now two planes or three planes fly into like bloody buildings. And we're throwing that all out of the window? I mean, this is insanity.
Yeah, I mean, it's very worrying. The problem is it sets a precedent. So, all right, this is the first case, but then of course, we won't even know how many other trials are going to be held, or what's going to happen. For all we know, this could be the first of very many of these things.
This is really scary. They can arrest you without anybody knowing, and you'll be put on trial without anybody knowing, and then you can be put away. And the thing is, there's another. This really worries me as well. There's another thing in the UK that just recently came up. In the Queen's speech, they basically said a new thing that hackers can now be locked up for life in the UK. If they say malicious hackers who risk triggering deadly civil unrest by cutting off food distribution. How do you do that as a hacker? Telephone networks or energy supplies by sabotaging computer networks.
Break all the vending machines.
Sentenced to life in prison. Under measures introduced in the Queen's. That is ridiculous. I mean, rapists don't get life in prison, right?
Well, I mean, the law's been getting stricter and stricter in the last 10 years or more. The laws have been getting stricter and stricter all around the world on this kind of stuff. But it's kind of it's really dangerous. And
it's ridiculous because this whole cyber war stuff is ridiculous. How would you cut off the food supply? Like this whole thing. It's like in America, it's like this bloody Dick Clark's going on about this all the time because he has a consultancy and he's like trying to sell this cyber war stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, they're training to blow up pipelines. How the hell do you blow up a pipeline with a fucking computer?
Wasn't I suppose a remote control computer controlled bomb, I don't know. Wasn't Dick Clark the name of the guy in RoboCop, the original RoboCop, the real RoboCop?
Maybe.
What's his name? It was Dick Jones or something. Anyway, carry on. I'm going to find that out. The guy who was like the old man who ran the company and all the rest.
Well, this is Richard A. Clark. Okay. Former national coordinator for security.
I'm just looking it up on IMDb right now.
Counterterrorism guy, and he has his consultancy, and he's on every American TV show talking about cyber war. It's ridiculous. I mean, no, you can't like even Natanz, Stuxnet, Natanz. They just they shut down the centrifuge. They had to shut down the system. It didn't explode, and. I mean, it's ridiculous anyway. Because if you use a computer to blow up a pipeline or like a power plant or whatever, right? There are laws against that already. Like,
yeah, there are.
If they can prove that you blew up a bloody power station, then you get locked up for blowing up a power station. It doesn't matter how you blow up the power station. Like, does that matter?
Well, this is the argument that we always see. Well, I don't want to put words in their mouths, but this is the kind of arguments that we seem to hear a lot from people like the Open Rights Group when they say, we already have laws against this kind of stuff. Inventing new laws it doesn't make sense because there are already laws to punish these things.
This is like saying you get punished more if you kill somebody by shooting him, as opposed to stabbing
them or something. Yeah.
You get punished for killing somebody, not like because you used a gun or like a fork or whatever. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just out of interest, I did look that up, and the character I was thinking of was called Dick Jones, not Dick Clark. I don't know why I thought that, but it's from
it's similar. You know what that story reminds me of?
Mm-hmm.
That time I met the Loch Ness.
Yeah.
It keeps following me around.
It's incredibly large. Yeah. So, sticking with, there seems to be a lot of British stuff this week. Sticking with the problems with the legal situation in Britain. Now that you're out of it, maybe you feel a bit more comfortable.
It's not my fault if they keep messing up.
No, I know, but we're already we're already kind of the most surveilled country in the world, pretty much. Certainly in Europe, I would imagine, probably the world. CCTV, all that kind of stuff. It's been famously quoted for years the number of times the average British citizen gets, recorded on CCTV per day, just doing an average thing, like walking to a shop and back. It's dozens and dozens of times. It's something like 300 times a day or something. The average person gets filmed on CCTV.
There's certainly a lot of cameras in London.
There was a murder case recently. Funnily enough, in not far from where I live, there was a case of a guy who actually, he was a some kind of computer geek, you know. Anyway, but he basically
You killed a competitor?
he thought he could he thought he could get away with this murder by making. So he was a big online gamer, and he managed to fake a load of games and stuff, and he and his friend recorded like false scores on these games, because his alibi was when they said to him, where were you whatever last night, he could say him and his friend, they had proof, they'd logged it on the online servers and stuff as well somehow, and his friend had tried to cover for him. But anyway, this guy just stabbed someone to death, but they didn't have any evidence against him. And in the end, he was convicted through CCTV because of the amount of CCTV now. They filmed him in the street leaving his house, walking to wherever, to a train station. Filmed him obviously on the train as CCTV. Filmed him getting off the train, and even filmed him right up to the point where he walks up to someone's front door and then proceeds to stab them to death, although he couldn't see him stabbing the person. But still, that was enough to kind of convict him because they had his whole journey and everything. Anyway, so that, again, off the point slightly, but yeah, surveillance is pretty popular over here, and now we're looking at social media surveillance, apparently.
Well, this is a story from today. So basically, the government, the UK government, is now, well, you have a rule, like pretty much we all have in our countries, that your intelligence services are not supposed to spy on your citizens, only on other citizens of other countries. So the GCHQ can spy on me, but not on you. Now, apparently they argue that they can spy on all social media stuff of the UK citizen because they classify this as external communications, because pretty much all of it goes through American servers or servers in other countries. So if the traffic touches server in another country, it's external communication, and they can. Well, this is about Tempora, which is a GCHQ program that just saves saves internet traffic. They just tap cables, undersea cables. They just suck in internet traffic for about 30 days, buffer all of that, all the traffic they have, and then if they want to look something up, they can search to look.
They can look it up.
Longer as well, but they can't because it's so much traffic, and they can't. Even GCHQ with its huge server farms can't save all that data.
Yeah.
They would if they could, though, I'm pretty sure.
I wonder if they've got Google Drive. You never know.
Yeah, they're running it on Google Drive.
They're running it on Google Drive, yeah.
Well, Google is a CIA project, so.
Yeah, it could well be. So that's pretty bad. I mean, if it comes to fruition, I don't know. But, I mean, I think you're right that the pushing of the... we're probably, if we're not on some kind of lists, then we will be after this show. But the pushing of like laws and the pushing of the laws in the name of anti-terror, or it's always the same things. It's always anti-terrorism. It's always child porn or pedophilia. And there's all these, there's these things that
Somebody think of the children.
Well, most politicians know that they can push these buttons, and then people will just go, "Yeah, you better put that into law." And it will happen, and it's bad. Yeah, the kind of the restriction of liberty. We're kind of sleepwalking into into the police state in some ways, and that's really quite worrying. Anyway, so let's move on. FBI. So for once, this isn't.
Oh yeah, this is a US story. So basically, remember Stratfor hack? That they got Jeremy Hammond and Sabu told on the lolsec people. Turns out that apparently Jeremy Hammond says he didn't even know what Stratfor was. There's one hacker they haven't caught in this group who had the idea to hack Stratfor and set it all up. And apparently even Sabu doesn't know who he is, or Sabu hasn't ratted him out.
Okay.
He's just disappeared. So the theory is that he was an FBI informant.
Right.
So the theory is that the FBI set up the Stratfor hack. Hammond says, and is very plausible, that they at least could have stopped it, but because they were informed through Sabu every step of the way. Sabu is now out of jail, by the way, for all of his collaboration, like day and night for like months.
So yeah, he bought his way out.
he knew, so they could have stopped this, and the FBI hasn't stopped it. So the theory is that one hacker who disappeared was an FBI guy, which I think is pretty plausible. Kind of makes sense that the FBI set this up because, yeah, the FBI obviously needs stuff like this because their job is keeping the homeland safe. And I think
you need a threat, yeah.
Well, the FBI has a big problem because in the US because Homeland Security, this department has basically usurped everything else.
NSA is this?
No, the Department of Homeland Security, which is something they brought in after September 11th, which is under the DoD. And that is just a huge apparatus, and it's usurped pretty much every other part of the executive, except the police and the FBI. And so I think they're competing with the FBI for funding. So the FBI needs stuff like this.
Yeah, well, this is all we need, isn't it? Because if they're all competing for funding, then are they gonna do worse and worse things? Look, our situation's worse than theirs. Well, we don't really want them trying to out egg each other for how bad they can make things.
They've been proven. I mean, I'm not completely subscribing to this, but No Agenda calls this a 6-week cycle because they notice stuff like this keeps happening roughly every 6 weeks. But there's been a lot of cases where the FBI basically, in the US, apparently entrapment isn't illegal, which I never understood. That just makes no sense whatsoever. They're just entrap guys. They just find like Muslim guys who are impressionable, and then an FBI informant will go, "Hey, do you want to?" They egg them on, all bloody infidels, and let's blow up this building, and then I can get you like the explosives and stuff, and then they give them fake explosives. And they give him a detonator, right? And then they go, you go there, and then at that time you push this button on your cell phone and you blow it all up, right? And then they film the guy, they set him up, and then they film him like pushing the button, and they arrest him.
Wow, and that's legal.
Yeah. Well, that's then a terror threat averted.
Right. Okay. That you created and then averted.
Well, it's ridiculous. Yeah, there's like a Muslim organization in the US who has now done a study on this and how it's basically almost like pre-crime because they surveil these people and they will because they're a suspect because they're Muslim, whatever. And then they find the people who they think they're radical, and then they just set them up and trap them. Basically, they make them commit the crime, and then arrest them for it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, which is the definition of entrapment. Yeah. I mean, well, I don't know. I think they should stick to monitoring hummus movements.
Oh yeah, that's old.
That's a big one.
Then monitor me then. Well, it's just ridiculous because in German, a judge would the German police has to be very, very careful in investigations that they do not entrap people. Because
I'm fairly certain you can't do that in the UK either. You can't. I mean, a big case is where
the moment where they get caught doing that, the case is even if the guy then goes and does something illegal, right? Yeah. The case is off.
It's already
they'll never be able to convict them.
Yeah, I mean, I know they have to be very careful with things like drugs convictions and so on. In the UK, the police can't. Ask you to sell them drugs, and then whatever you have to offer. Yeah. You have to offer in the first place, and it's all very strange how it works. Anyway,
first half over, by the way. 0-0.
Still 0-0.
0-0. Brazil's not playing that well, from what I can see.
I can't see anything, so that much.
Chibi will be happy.
Yeah, Mexico, yeah, of course. Yeah. Anyway, so we talked a lot about TrueCrypt. Obviously, there's been a lot of developments in the TrueCrypt camp with the official the developers of the project saying, we've had enough, we're going to give it up and all the rest of it. Problems with licensing, which we've talked about, the fact that it's not really under a license that people can use properly or fork or whatever. So a German company called Cyrix are planning to create an open source successor to TrueCrypt, as they're calling it. They say they've audited the software. They say they audited the software 3 years ago.
Yeah.
For the German Federal Office of Information Security. The experience gained there has led to the development of new encryption software called Trusted Disk, that doesn't. Yeah, I wouldn't trust that. This new software supposedly improves on TrueCrypt's design, especially the bootloader. Sorry, it says bootloader. Does that mean bootloader?
That means bootloader, yeah.
I was just thinking, is that? I was just wondering, is there the boat?
Well, I wrote this before the show. I haven't slept much.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I just wanted to check that there wasn't some new thing called a boatloader that I don't know anything about. Which
loads boats. Reload the page.
Okay.
I just fixed it.
It is attempting to reload. Hang on, if I click the right button.
Well, so basically, this
it's fixed now.
This is really weird because, first of all, they apparently audited TrueCrypt 3 years ago. The BSI presumably paid them. They gave them the mission to do this, and never told anybody about this. Which that's horrible because the BSI, that's my tax dollars, tax euros. At work,
yeah.
They should be protecting me. That's their mission. So if they audit TrueCrypt, they should. I would say they should make that available to everybody, the findings. But well, they did. So they audited that, and then apparently now get this. This company designed their own. They came up with Trusted Disk, which improves on things in TrueCrypt. Like
so they claim, yeah.
Random number generator. Yeah, this is all this company claiming. So it apparently improves on random number generator, on the bootloader, the boatloader, and stuff.
The boatloader, yeah.
But they say they couldn't open source this because of licensing reasons. So they went ahead and made a commercial version, which they sold. Now, the TrueCrypt license says you can't use the code commercially without asking them for permission. So if they could not open source this, I'm pretty sure they didn't have the right to do whatever they did. I think they pretty much admitted this.
Yeah, I mean it's all a bit troubling, isn't it? I mean, how can they have audited this and then not? Well, they're saying improved the code, so that means they used the code, they used whatever they learned from that. I mean, we're learning from the whole Google, the Google Oracle situation over Java. That if you've copied the idea, you can't, you're in trouble basically. And I don't know, and that means that they can't then just release it as under another license, because otherwise we just we talked about we talked about the problems with the license of TrueCrypt anyway. Someone would have just done it.
Now is apparently they having a lawyer evaluate the code they have and then rewrite the stuff they can't use,
right?
And then open source it, which is a good goal. And they want to, as I say, open source it under recognized open source license. Okay. But it still makes me wonder. That means their proprietary product must have broken the TrueCrypt license. At least that's what I think it means.
Done, yeah. Although, I mean, maybe they feel that they can get away with it because the TrueCrypt developers don't seem that bothered.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much true. But still, to admit this, they kind of admitted this, and I'm not sure they know they admitted it, but it's kind of weird. Seems weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, if only like Oracle had bought TrueCrypt, they'd be fucked now. A few months ago, if Oracle had bought it, they'd be fucked.
Not really, because I mean, why they can get away with this is because the TrueCrypt developers want to stay anonymous and disappeared. Like they have to turn up and go to court. Yeah. Which would immediately make them a target for the people who don't like TrueCrypt and the government and stuff.
A lot of people don't like TrueCrypt. Well, I mean, if the thing is open source, then at least other people can audit the thing and see what's going on. I mean, with all the other efforts already going on, though, I mean, we've got this the open crypto audit project and all that stuff. The stuff they're doing already, auditing a lot of this stuff. Then I don't know. I maybe it's just me, but I'd be more tempted to believe them than someone who claims they got paid to do this 3 years ago but never told anyone.
Well, the one thing is, the BSI is then they kind of know what they're doing. I mean, they're German, so you got to keep take it with a pinch of salt. But apparently, they last year they cleared they licensed this product for use with VSNFD, that's a security clearance level in Germany. So it's actually on the same level. Just let me look this up as restricted in the US. So it's restricted, confidential, secret, top secret. So it's the lowest level basically, but still, that is, that audit must have, at least to the BSI, looked good. Although I guess this company could have just duped the BSI. We know that BSI has done stupid things in the past. That whole email debacle with the email accounts.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'd still like somebody to look over it, someone I trust to look over it before I agree to anything there. All right, and so moving on, Google have released an experimental OpenPGP plugin for Chrome. There's actually, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in the encryption world right now. Lots of people scrambling to fix things after the OpenSSL business and so on. Google have, there you go. So it says, this is probably something you wrote as well. Well, end-to-end encryption tools like PGP and GNU-PG been around a long time. They require a bit of technical know-how. Well, you've put a great deal of technical know-how.
If it's in italics, I didn't write it.
Okay, well, whoever this is has put, they require a great deal of technical know-how. I'm not sure I would say that. But anyway, they require some technical know-how and manual effort, which makes people less likely to use them, as we know. Google are working on something, an extension for Chrome, which is going to support many of the existing encryption tools. It says you won't find the end-to-end extension, which is an interesting name, the name of it, in the Chrome Web Store yet. Apparently the code's just been shared, so the community can test it and evaluate it, and they want people to help make sure it's as secure as it needs to be. Obviously, very important for this kind of tool. Before people start relying on it and stuff. It says it'll be made available in the Chrome Web Store when it's ready for prime time. We'll make it available in the Chrome Web Store, and everyone will be able to use it to send and encrypt emails through their existing web-based email provider. There are already, I thought there were already tools for this in Chrome. I don't know, maybe I'm not sure, but I know.
But
I was going to say, I know in Firefox they've had this for ages. You can use this Firefox.
Well, there is a Chrome plugin, but it's not in Chrome.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, got you.
Well,
so
this is stupid anyway.
This is an extension. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Sorry? No, what you were saying?
No, you said this is in Chrome, but it's an extension.
You said it is in Chrome. I said there are already extensions that do this.
Right, okay.
But the thing is, this is stupid anyway, because Google doesn't want this. I mean, Google tomorrow could implement end-to-end encryption in Gmail.
Yeah.
They could tomorrow implement end-to-end encryption in Hangouts. They could give us end-to-end encryption. They know how to do it. It's not that hard. They've got a lot of developers. The reason why they're not doing this is because their business model depends on reading your stuff. And by that I don't mean some guy at Google actually reading it, but having computers analyze. Of course, the problem is they also have to hand, by law, they're required to also have to hand it to the NSA if the NSA comes knocking. I'm not saying the stuff Google does, I've said this ages ago, years ago, is evil. It's their business model. They just, they want to serve you ads. I'm actually fine with that. I don't mind. But the downside is that the NSA can read it too, and I mind that. Yeah. So they can't give us end-to-end encryption. Google's not the right. I mean, they do this. This is like a 20% project probably. They do these things. This is PR because they're in the doghouse, because people are starting to figure out that Google is not giving us this, that Google's business model depends on spying on all of us, basically, or enabling the NSA to spy on all of us, Yeah. So, yeah, this is a very half-hearted, shitty measure.
It's a good point. I mean, their whole thing is data mining for adverts and targeted marketing and all that shit, so they don't want you encrypting all your emails because then they can't mine them, so that's not so good. I noticed Oliver Kahn on the screen behind me. I haven't seen him in a long time.
He's the commentator.
Sorry.
He's actually quite good. I like him as a commentator.
Right. He's
the first football commentator who actually, is actually critical with goalies. I used to be goalkeeper when I was playing football, and everybody's just like, yeah, he had no chance. He had no chance. No, there's nothing he could do, which is like ridiculous because a lot of goals are obviously, the keeper makes a mistake, which is part of the goal, which is kind of. But usually everybody just go, oh, he couldn't do anything. Like, no, he could have just not ran off into the wrong corner, like Casillas did.
Yeah, he had a bad game. Anyway, so sticking back,
saying he feels bad for him, very bad.
I think a lot of people did because he just made himself look stupid. So back to encryption type stuff. Anyway, OpenSSL. They've fixed a second bug from the same developer who apparently caused the heartbleed problem. I'm thinking maybe this guy shouldn't be allowed to.
Well, yes, anymore. A lot of people are thinking this. Of course, this is also old code.
Oh, fair enough.
I like the way the Zero Day Initiative discovered this, and they said this doesn't necessarily reflect that OpenSSL's like
bad or quality.
Well, the problem is. They say what I've said before as well, that the problem is the guys who signed this off, the guys who looked at this. So the problem is the many eyes, given enough eyes, all bugs are shallow, which we always say about open source, and which why we say open source security software is better. I mean, I believe we said this on the show years ago. If you don't have enough eyes, that is cancelled out. So you're basically where you're probably worse off than with proprietary software, where they at least often, if it's a big company, they do have professional QA departments.
Well, also the problem is that it depends on, sticking with the eyes analogy, it depends on the quality of the eyes. I mean, they could let me look at it, but I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at, so I'll just go, yeah, it looks fine to me.
Well, they could have eyes like the referees in the World Cup.
Yeah, that's true. Here comes a noisy ice cream van.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
It's World Cup ice cream van. Yeah.
So basically what they said is that I like this quote, the blood's in the water now. Of course, everybody knows, like, you can look up who this guy is, and then lots of security researchers are now looking at everything else he committed. Funnily enough, this was, again, it's in DLTS, or DTLS, or whatever. I always say that wrong. I think I wrote it wrong again. Yeah, DTLS. No, I think that's it. DTLS, and I wrote it wrong again in the bloody story on 6gun News. I'll just fix that. Because why do I do this wrong? It's like TLS. It's DTLS, so it kind of makes sense. Anyway, let me just quickly fix that. Yeah, so it's a relatively it's a very protocol that's not used much. I'm trying to say here. So I'm operating with very little sleep here. So yeah, once again, just like the heartbeat bug, obscure protocol that you kind of did some work on, implemented, and then.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing, I'm not I don't think I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I'm sure lots of people have already said this, but is this guy like just incompetent, or is he actually malicious in any way?
This is what people said,
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people have told me that you can err twice, but when you find the third bug, this is when it's pretty clear that. Well, I don't know. I don't want to even comment on this because I have no idea. He could be a spy. He could be a spy, or he could just be the worst programmer ever. I mean, he did that when he was in uni, and it's like the thing is, it doesn't matter. It's the OpenSSL project's fault. You can't have guys like this.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter if he's a spy or if he's just a shit programmer. You can't have either. Just hand it to somebody, and the guy just cursory looks at it and commits it. I mean, this is not gonna fly.
Yeah,
not
I mean,
software like this. I mean, if you program a podcatcher, fair enough, but yeah.
Or a lolcat, finder or something. Well, as you say, the maintainers. It's got to be down to the maintainers. I mean, people have their problems with Linus Torvalds. He can be a pain in the ass a lot of the time, but one thing you can't say about him is, he doesn't just let anything into the kernel. He will check everything. and that's his job. That's what he does. And not just him, of course. There are lots of maintainers maintaining the different subsections of the kernel. Anyway, subsystems.
Second half on the way, by the way. Still 0-0.
Kick off. So again, more encryption stuff. GNU TLS of the project, they fixed a remote code execution bug, basically to do with memory on the client corrupting. So the vulnerability that was allowing this server product, part of the GNU TLS library, something called server hello apparently, could basically corrupt the memory on a client and then requesting client, and then you're into the world of hurt.
Luckily, it's not used in many projects. But if you thought only OpenSSL had problems like this, think again.
Every project has these problems. Gaming
software like this shouldn't, but yeah.
True. Gaming, yes. Lots of gaming stuff to talk about. By which I mean like computer gaming, not like poker or gambling gaming. So Civilization 5 is now available on Linux.
Yay!
Yeah. I know a lot of people. I do love Civilization, but I'm basing that on.
Oh, wie ist das schön. That's what we sing when we're happy as German football fans.
Oh, okay.
So was hat man lang nicht gesehen. So schön. So schön.
Get an umpire. We need an umpire band or something to do this thing. They're playing along. Get the tubers out. Yeah, Civilization, very popular, hugely popular series, obviously. I mean, I haven't really played it since the 90s, so I'm well out of touch. Yeah, I believe so. I've been told that, along with people who keep telling me I should watch Game of Thrones, and they keep berating me for the reason that I don't watch Game of Thrones.
The Brazilian coach is very unhappy. Oh,
hello.
I just headbutted the mic.
Nice. Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't got the time, but I do like the series, and I know lots of people will be really, really happy about this. So yeah, Civilization 5 available now on Linux. Apparently, Valve, makers of the Steam platform that we've talked about a lot, they're doing a lot of Linux stuff with all Steam boxes and so on, Steam machines. They're sponsoring better open graphics drivers for Linux, which is an interesting one because that's. I mean, OpenGL, we talked about the problems with OpenGL project a while ago, but it looked like they kind of sorted it out, but who knows. So, yeah, they're Luna G, apparently, with support from Valve, are announcing something called the Glassy Mesa project.
Yeah, it's based on Mesa, yeah.
Okay, which will enable them to bring the LLVM compiler infrastructure to Mesa.
Basically, it compiles... I won't pretend to know how this works, but it does something called an intermediate representation, IR.
Yeah.
So it basically helps them develop shading optimizations, and obviously they use LLVM, which is the compiler that Apple was pushing and everybody keeps using now. It's like the thing everybody uses. Even if the FSF doesn't like that much. Yeah, it uses that to do like just-in-time optimizations for shading. It's magic, basically. I don't know. If it gives us better graphics drivers and make games run faster than on Windows, I'm all for it. Go, Gabe!
Yeah.
Have you ever been to gaben.tv?
No. Do I want to? Or is that something like...
It's fun. Yeah. Your browser must have Flash.
Praise Lord Gaben. Please prepare your wallet. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, it's right. Yeah, it's a section of a series of TV clips. So we've got I haven't got the sound on. Should I have the sound on? I don't know.
Well, I was playing it. I couldn't hear what you were saying. I had to turn it off. Sorry. I didn't figure out how to turn. Yeah, you need to have the sound on. You turn it.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry.
Also,
there you go.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Very clever. The wallet. I like it. Yeah.
You can also press 3.
Really? What does that do? Oh yeah, it says press 3, but it's not doing anything. Why is it not doing anything?
Hey, you have different music than I.
Yeah. Well, I pressed 3 and nothing. Oh, hang on. I've brought up the search box. That's why. What happened when I pressed 3? There's nothing happening when I press 3.
You also have different music than me. That's weird.
Yeah. There's definitely nothing happening when I press 3. Oh, anyway, maybe
this is not good podcasting material.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll put a link in.
Everybody check that out in their own time. Gaben.tv.
That's Gaben, not gaymen.tv, which you're welcome to look at as well.
Alpha, Bravo, Echo, November. Dot T. Tango. What's V? Victor. Tango Victor.
Yeah.
Golf Alpha Bravo Echo November dot Tango Victor.
So you've got some games that you're looking forward to.
Yeah, this is one of them we talked about, Elite Dangerous. We talked about Braben already. From Gaben to Braben.
Someone should do Braben.tv.
Yeah.
It's just him at the palace or something on loop.
Yeah. Hello.
Philippe. Sorry. Anyway.
Philippe, get my Oculus Rift.
Yeah. One's Oculus Rift.
They released a new trailer. They've got the premium beta, which I can actually pay because I paid so much money, but I haven't had time. Looks amazing. Then, speaking of Civilization Beyond Earth, we talked about that on the show before. Another game I look forward to. And then they announced a new Tomb Raider for next year, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, I saw that in the news, actually, yeah.
Once again going to be written by Rhianna Pratchett, who's the daughter of Terry Pratchett. And Camilla Luddington is doing the voice again, which is awesome because I loved her in this, especially the panting. When she gets hurt.
Did you make the character run a lot? I imagine.
Oh my god, yes. Oh yes, I made her fall down a lot as well and get hit by arrows because
we appear to be in a lift. Is there any reason to be running?
Yeah. Katie was making fun of me because she's like, I would have loved to be at the voice recording sessions because.
Yeah. Maybe they just recorded the ladies' tennis match and dubbed it over because that's all they do in those.
That's what somebody said at work today as well.
Yeah, they do. I mean, you watch some of them and like, well, Wimbledon starts soon, and most of the ladies' tennis matches, all they seem to do is kind of scream when they're hitting the ball and stuff. Like Sharapova's very famous for that. All right, okay. Getting a bit too into that.
Crap on social media for her role in the game, and I really like her.
Okay.
You did a great job, voice acting.
Very cool. Any other games you want to mention that you're looking forward to?
So far.
Okay. We get some stuff, some interesting stuff about from China, in fact. The Chinese government have revealed Microsoft patents on Android, or what Microsoft claim are their patents on Android. There's a big, long article here, which I'll admit I haven't read, so what's the kind of lowdown?
Basically, we've talked about this on the show for years. Microsoft asserts patents on Android and threatens people, and they pay license fees, and they've never told anybody what the patents are, right? So there was an antitrust investigation in China, which to me is extremely funny, because they're a communist country and they're having antitrust. I mean, Marx is probably laughing his butt off in his grave.
Well, they're Maoists.
Well, but Mao didn't make any sense, but still.
Well, he basically took Marxism.
It's just extremely funny that you would have an antitrust in communism, where communism is basically based on the state owning everything.
Yeah.
And then distributing it fairly, which that's the part that never works. But and so this is also amazing name. The what's it called? The Chinese Ministry of Commerce, MOFCOM. It's like
MOFCOM, right?
MOFCOM. Yo, 350. They want 350. So they they were investigating Microsoft's behavior and stuff, and so Microsoft apparently gave them a list with all those patents. Well, I can read it. This is from Ars Technica. The patents Microsoft plans to wield against Android describe a range of technologies. They include lots of technologies developed at Microsoft, as well as patents that Microsoft acquired by participating in the Rockstar Consortium, which spent $4.5 billion on patents that were auctioned off after the Nortel bankruptcy. The list of patents was apparently produced as part of the Chinese government. Well, this is the antitrust review. This investigation concluded after its investigation that Microsoft holds approximately 200 patent families that are necessary to build an Android smartphone. And by families, they, as Technica, looked at it, and they're basically just one patent family. So they hold a bit over 200 patents that they say are needed to make an Android phone, and there's lots more info on here. Well, there's some from the Nokia deal. And
I was going to say how much of this is from what they got from Nokia.
Yeah, but Ars Technica looked at this and compared them to the patents that were named in the Barnes & Noble case. And so it seems to be pretty valid. The thing is, this was only available on a Chinese-speaking page. There's an English translation, but that doesn't have the documents with the patents on it. So apparently, obviously, Microsoft want to keep this secret, really secret. I think they're pretty pissed that it's out now, I think. Which is good.
Good, yeah, good.
A win for openness.
I hope Steve Ballmer's jumping around somewhere, sweating.
Jesus Christ, this game is horrible. Everybody's shooting at the goal and nobody's producing anything.
It can't be as bad as the game I watched last night, Nigeria versus Iran. That was really bad.
That was a bad game, wasn't it? That was horrible.
That was the worst game I've seen so far. I made the stupid mistake of... Well, I've watched almost every game up to that point, and I made the stupid mistake because until then, everything had been like the highest scoring...
To be fair, it was also right after the Germany game, so...
Yeah, well, fair enough. It was the highest scoring, World Cup and all the rest of it. And I stupidly made the comment to a friend of mine that, every game's been brilliant, so, I'm sure this will be good as well.
That as well.
And then it was... No, I really wish I hadn't.
I said the same thing. But considering this is the record World Cup winner, like 5 times World Cup winner Brazil playing. It's
still a way to go. Still a way to go. Yeah.
I'm rooting for Mexico. Mexico.
There you go. Yeah. So moving on, IKEA, obviously the well-known Swedish maker of flat pack furniture. Yeah, they have clamped down on the IKEA hackers website, which was founded in 2006 by a lady called Jules Yap, which is a pseudonym apparently. And basically the website shows people, it collects together like different people's hacks for IKEA furniture. So it can be anything from adding some decoration to it to completely of altering the designs and so on, which they put down as requiring power tools and lots of ingenuity.
Like the lack rack, where you take those lack tables and put like 19-inch rack.
Yeah.
You can rack mount stuff in them.
Rack mount stuff in them. So apparently, she's had a cease and desist order from IKEA's trademark lawyers, which is all a bit stupid. And she wrote basically they wanted her to give up the domain name IKEAhackers.com, I think it was. They wanted her to give that up, and they were very very angry about it. She wrote, "I am crushed." By the news, obviously.
This is after 5 years of them doing nothing, by the way.
Exactly, yeah. But she's going to move to another domain. So the main problem is that it's got the word IKEA in the name, as far as I can tell, because that's what trademark people will get onto.
Fucking who?
Yeah. So they've had a go at her. She tried to negotiate with them. They weren't really having any of it. They told her she could keep the domain only if it was a non-commercial site, which basically meant removing advertising from it, which is, I think, the main commercial thing on there. It's not like she's selling.
She lives off as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not like she's selling all kinds of. You're going to headbutting the mic.
Well, I keep turning around to watch the game. Sorry.
And then forgetting how far away the mic is.
This studio is very small, and this TV is pretty big.
It looks pretty big, yeah. So she is going to move to a new domain. She said she hasn't yet named the domain, but she described herself as a blogger.
IKEAcox.com.
Yeah. Well, no, it can't have the name IKEA in it. It can't have the word IKEA in it. So, obviously not.
3 fiddy hackers.
Swedish flat pack fuckers.
So remember, that flat pack
fuckers. Yeah, Swedish flat pack fuckers. That's what she should go.
That sounds like a rock album.
It does sound a little bit like a punk band, yeah.
Yeah, it's like they should. she's just, I don't know. That reminds me of that time when IKEA came ringing at my door and demanded 3 fiddy.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the IKEA lawyers. Yeah, and
I'm just gonna go out tomorrow. The first person I meet, I'm gonna ask if they have 3 fiddy.
you got to say, I need about 3 fiddy. Let's see what they say. Yeah, so she described herself as a blogger who is obviously on their side. I mean, basically, they were promoting IKEA, they were promoting IKEA products and so on, and it wasn't really harming IKEA in any way. And she lamented the fact that the company didn't talk to her, this is in quotes, like normal people do without issuing a C&D, a cease and desist. So, I mean, that's a pretty stupid, shitty move by IKEA's lawyers. I mean, is she really threatening? Is anybody likely to go to her website and think it's, IKEA? Yeah.
Well, the website looks better than the IKEA site for one thing. IKEA dicks something. Like my whole house full of IKEA furniture. I'm, been a student for a long time, and this is what basically, that's the furniture you can afford. But it's like they're dicks sometimes. Like I mean, there's other stuff. The guy who founded the company is like giving money to right-wing parties and shit like this. And sometimes they're just dickheads.
Yeah, they certainly are. I've just noticed that I've been ignoring the IRC. Big Les P's just turned up. The Chief.
Oh.
So good evening to you, Chief. Attention.
In the morning to all ships at sea, boots on the ground, feet in the air, subs in the water.
Yeah. John Archer's also saying it sounds like a message tone when you headbutt the mic. So maybe you're giving everyone like false alarm.
Generate message tones. Yeah.
Releases. We got some releases. Linux 3.15, well 15.
Oh, there's a free kick. He's now pulled out the cream.
I can't see what's going on there. I could just see the keeper kind of. I can see the keeper's hair, and that's about it. Okay.
I just like the cream, the shaving cream.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That stuff actually, I do like that. Yeah. Linux 3.15 3.15 is released. It's a new version of the kernel, obviously.
If you want to know, there's a link
to the Linux kernel mailing list.
Yeah, well, there's a link to kernel newbies.
Yeah, they've done some driver stuff in it. So they've fixed some random fixes, mainly drivers. It says DRM networking, sound, USB, etc. Scheduling and performance tooling, blah blah blah. So there's going to be a whole list of stuff that's changed. So we're not going to list it now. So you can follow a link in the show notes. Other releases, Docker.
Yes, we talked about that recently. That's
the logo. That's the one with the cool logo. Yeah. Do you know? I'm just stealing this from another podcast, but I had some awesome trivia recently. Which I don't know, people might know this. You mentioned a whale, made me think of it. Did you know everyone's going mad over Godzilla because there's a new Godzilla film right now? I haven't seen it, but people are going mad over it. But did you know that Godzilla was originally supposed to be half whale and half gorilla?
How
Seriously.
does that work?
It was supposed to be a cross between a whale and a gorilla.
Whale.
The name Godzilla comes from the Japanese gorilla's gorilla, but the name comes from the whale gorilla. Godzilla is in Japanese, which I never knew. So there you go. There's an awesome bit of trivia for you that you can rock. You can rock at work or whatever you want. I'll never think of Godzilla the same. Whale gorilla just doesn't sound that threatening to me.
I'll use that at work and see if somebody pulls me up on it. It's like, hey, Dan told you that on the show.
Yeah. Yeah. Big Les P says a whale and a gorilla. How drunk were they?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
How would that work? A whale swims.
I don't know.
Work on that.
You've seen Godzilla. How does any of it work? It's
point.
It's supposed to be like there's a giant moth, like Mothra or whatever it's called. Anyway, Docker's out now. Version 1.0 actually the big release after 15 months of development. 8,741 commits and more than 460 contributors. 2.75 million downloads. Wow, okay.
It only started like really recently. That's the interesting thing.
Yeah, they claim there's over 14,000 Dockerized apps.
Yeah, that's why we didn't talk about it for a while, because it only started like, I don't know, what, a year or two ago? And now it's basically the default virtualization thing on Linux, become that basically overnight, which is interesting because our next story is RHEL 7. And it is in RHEL 7. And as they say here on eWeek, Sean Michael Gunner says, Docker did not exist when RHEL 7 development first kicked off in 2010. The Docker container open source project got its start in 2013 and has since emerged to become one of the hottest areas of enterprise virtualization technology. Docker 1.0, that was just released. We talked about that. And now it's in RHEL 7. They still have KVM, of course, but also RHEL 7 has the XFS file system.
Yes, yeah.
We talked about this before. This is like you can have 500 terabyte volumes.
Well, XFS is the standard in OpenSUSE, in all the SUSE stuff. And I remember asking one of the SUSE guys about this, and he was saying they've always promoted XFS or something for their. It's a fairly old file system for their enterprise customers.
Nobody cared about this until Red Hat came along.
Compared to like ButterFS or BetterFS, whichever you want to call it, and ZFS or ZFS as the Americans call it. I don't know. I didn't think XFS was that exciting, but who knows? Maybe
I've always used it on myth boxes.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it's recommended if you have a lot of very big files. So that's why most myth distributions basically have the media partition as XFS.
XFS.
This is the only time I've ever really used it.
Somewhere Ted Cho is shaking his fist.
Damn you, Koch brothers!
Yeah. And anyway,
Koch brothers' fault.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking, you mentioned RHEL, and they bought up the CentOS project, and they've kind of assimilated it. All your projects are belong to us, as they say. And CentOS 7 pre-release images are out now for testing. This is the first version. Am I right in thinking this is the first version since the takeover?
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens and if there's any changes to it.
This is very experimental, but Well, I think changes. They have more developers now. I think their tooling has ramped up a bit.
I imagine it probably has. Well, I remember
Red Hat.
interviewing Karanbir Singh, who was at the time the lead developer. I don't know if he still is, but I probably should, but I don't, I'm afraid. He was a guest on Floss Weekly talking about CentOS. He was the lead CentOS developer.
I met him in London. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. But I was kind of shocked when he told me there were basically 6 developers or something, or 5 developers. And we were saying, let's get more people involved. Too. Yeah, but we were saying on the show, as we always do on that show, how do we get people more involved and blah, blah, blah. And it basically, they didn't want people involved. They were like,
you said this before, yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of scary. So I think it's good that, I think it's good that they're going to have more.
They're part of Red Hat. I don't think they can keep that up.
No, I don't think so. So Firefox, there's a new Firefox release, Firefox 30. God knows what's going on with their version numbering right now.
God, this shit.
Meanwhile, intermittent football commentary.
They turned off NPAPI, basically. So they said they want developers to get rid of plugins.
Right.
Like all plugins now are click to play, except a very few like privileged ones like Flash and stuff like that. But they're basically Mozilla is saying use the web. Get away from plugins. The web can do everything a plugin can now these days, so just make websites. Which is weird because Google with Chrome, they've created the Pepper API, which is a improvement on NPAPI, NPRP, whatever. And
NPR, National Public Radio.
They're not getting rid of plugins, which is weird because when Chrome came out, they really were anti-plugin and keep it slim and stuff. And now Firefox is going that way. They're like saying don't create plugins. They are the main cause of crashes and performance problems in Firefox, so we don't want them.
Security problems definitely as well. I mean, how many things have been exploited through a plugin? Those pwn-to-own things. It always seems to be a browser with the plugin that gets done first. Anyway, so Firefox 30 is out now. Manjaro Linux 0.8.10.
Is that the one on the FSF list? I just don't remember.
I think it
I'll
is.
look
Yeah.
it up.
I'm fairly certain it is. Go on. Well, I'll keep talking. You look it up. I'm fairly certain it is, if I remember rightly. So yeah, they've been working hard on that. This release. Yeah, their release. This release includes.
No, it's not. This is. I always think Manjaro is because it just sounds like that.
What's that one? There's Triskel. I know.
Dragora, Lag, Diabolic, Nuisance,
Diabolic. Yeah.
Parabola,
Diabolic. I thought that dropped a
and
while ago.
Libra WRT.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, I didn't know. Good old Diabolic was still going. That's good to know.
Well, I don't know if it's Diabolic.
Well, remember we called it Diabolic.
That's a very old joke.
It is, but I like to throw it in for the old school fans who are just strictly from old school people. We got some comments on puns later on that I made.
Now that he's at X price, we should we can probably extort stuff from him.
From Jono.
Yeah, I don't think the X Prize people have ever heard of radio. They should take on up to on that show. We have audio evidence of Jonah Bacon talking about looking at a naked mirror.
Yeah, there's a problem with that.
Butt in the mirror.
The problem with that is we're not the only ones who have that evidence because anybody could go and grab those podcasts. So
yeah, but we're the only ones with the balls to actually extort people with it.
Yeah, taking all our cues from the Microsoft lawyers and the
exactly. We've got stuff on John O'Bacon, but we're not telling you what. But it's horrible.
Yeah, and those flat pack fuckers and the IKEA trademark department.
The fucking flat pack fuckers. I can't even say it. I think I'm drunk, but I'm just drunk on lack of sleep.
Okay, so back to Manjaro Linux anyway, which is apparently not FSF approved.
Did you notice that there are ads on the at the World Cup that just say "Oi"? Do you know what company that is? Oi.
No.
Just
I don't think I want it.
Called Oi.
Oh, good for them. I haven't really noticed. So where are we up to? Yeah, they've got a flagship XFCE edition. Apparently, it's the first time we've had that. They've got a KDE edition, an open box edition. Yeah, they the general layout, blah blah.
XFCE
I'm not going to read the whole
edition. Stardate 179.735.
It says, in addition to our officially supported environments, which we've talked about, XFCE and so on, there are various community editions which will be updated to 0.8.10 and released over the coming weeks. Installation images for GNOME 3, Mate, or Mate as you call it, Enlightenment.
Mate.
Yeah. LXDE and Cinnamon desktop environments will be provided by our community and team, along with the Netbook edition, which is a modified XFCE environment. I tell you what, for a project that I didn't think was particularly big, they're rocking out the editions there, aren't they? They've now got every desktop ever.
Who's still using Netbooks? Come on.
Some people are. I got given an EPC at work to sort out because somebody didn't know what to do with it.
Whoever had it before didn't want it anymore.
Well, no, they couldn't use it, and I went, oh right, okay. So they gave me this EPC, and I thought, I wonder which one it is, and it's the fucking original one with 4 gig of memory,
That's
4 gig of storage.
The fucking original one.
Yeah. So it's pretty low powered.
Hey Dan, what would you like? What do you need for work, computer wise? About 350.
Yeah, about 350. I think that's what that thing's worth now, if that. If that. Speaking of enlightenment, I mean, they're actually, considering it took them, 15 years or something to do Enlightenment 17? That's probably not true, but it took a long time. Their release cycles picked up a bit because they're already working on...
a year later it was 18.
Yeah.
Oh, no, and now a year later or something, it's... Yeah.
19, yeah. E19, Enlightenment E19. It's only an alpha version, so it's heavily unstable and stuff. But yeah, they're looking at releasing it sometime. It says in the second half of 24. Oh, hang on, no, that's not right. Oh, bloody hell! Final release is planned for sometime in 2024.
I think that's a joke.
Is that a joke? I was going to say that's got to be a joke, isn't it?
I think that's a joke based on their release cycle.
Sorry, yeah. I should have picked that up. I was thinking this can't be, but it was so close to it could actually be true. You don't know. So anyway, they're looking for testers.
Breaking news: Brazil still can't score.
How's that news? If it's still the same. All right. And, I see. They missed a chance. So where are we up to now? Node.js. They've dropped their contributor license agreement apparently.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which is interesting. Yeah. Contributor license agreements are controversial. We've talked about them a lot of time.
They want to make it easier for people to contribute. Apparently, they got it when they pulled some stuff, used some stuff from Chromium and V8. So they just used their contributor license agreement, the one from Google as well, because I guess it seemed like a good idea at the time.
So many of these things do. The project's under the MIT license, apparently. It says, hang on, Node.js, there you go, distributed under the MIT license, which is really, really open in every sense.
So then having a CLA is kind of...
Yeah, it's a strange contradiction, I suppose, for a BSD kind of loving... Well, it's not BSD, it's MIT, but you know what I mean. A permissive license, that's what Bradley would say, and he knows what he's talking about. Google have open sourced one of their PDF libraries, which I'm assuming is
the one in Chrome.
Okay. Formerly closed source, yeah, code in Google Chrome is now officially PDFium. It's like a Chromium.
Yeah, it's very Threefidium.
Yeah, they've open sourced Foxit's PDF technology apparently, which they must have bought some time ago. The Chromium team gives to developers this is their words, obviously. The Chromium team gives to developers a robust and reliable PDF library to view, search, print, and form fill PDF files. Therefore, if your next project is under the new BSD license, I cannot recommend enough someone's written this badly. I cannot recommend enough you go and learn. It's
a Google Plus post.
You go learn how simple it is to build PDF.
Yeah, I cannot recommend enough you go learn.
You go learn how simple it is.
I cannot recommend enough you go learn speak English.
Yeah, I would say so. Anyway, so that's that's potentially good news. What else we got then? GTK stuff. Apparently.
GTK. The default theme is now going to be Adwaita, which is the GNOME 3, the default theme.
Oh, okay.
Which doesn't matter. And they point out this doesn't matter for Linux people because on Linux every distribution has their own default theme anyway.
True. Yeah.
But it's important for Windows and stuff like this. And they used to have their own Windowsified theme, and now they're going to have Adwaita, which is, they point out, is very mature and been worked on. And apparently has which I haven't tried in a while, they explicitly praise the dark version. And it looks really good on that screenshot. I'm going to have to try that again. Because the default Adwaita is too stark for me. But the dark version looks cool. I like it dark.
The dark version.
I like my coffee dark.
My
themes like my coffee. Black.
Black and strong.
Exactly, boy.
Yep. GeoHot. Remember the George Hotz?
The rapper.
Yeah. He did the PS3 hack and he did many things actually. He did one of the big PS3 hacks. He's released an Android rootkit apparently, or a root application. Sorry, I'm just looking this up now. So it says, there we go. He's released a root application that works on the Samsung S5, so Galaxy S5, Galaxy Note 3, the Nexus 5, and other devices with the latest Android version. He was well known for doing rootkits and stuff for iOS and also.
Well, the thing is that rootkit roots the newest Android versions on those two devices, which are obviously popular. Works on the Nexus 5. My colleague tried it, so if you want to root your Nexus 5,
okay,
that's your way to go.
Wow. Have you seen his picture? He looks kind of crazy, this George.
Have you seen his rap videos? He is crazy. He did a video for the release for this. Not a video, but he recorded a rap song.
Wow.
It's on SoundCloud somewhere.
Okay.
That's slightly crazy, but he's.
I'll make a point to avoid that. Google Plus are announcing what they're calling premium features for business. Google Plus
Actually, when I
features
logged
for
in
business?
with the Sixscan account to start this hangout, it kept advertising it to me.
Oh, right, okay. You ended up in a porn loop, effectively.
Basically.
A premium feature loop. So Google Plus premium features, they're giving previews of it, apparently. I'm just looking at I'm trying to see what these premium features might be.
No, the point is, the features are really not important. This is in the show notes because this basically proves that the whole Google Plus is dead thing is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Because why would they have new premium business features, especially business features? You can better control where posts turn up if you use Google Apps for
Yeah, so it says here you can restrict them to domains and so on.
And you can have 15-person HD video calls.
Hmm.
It's been pretty stable for a while. So Touch MDF.
Mm-hmm.
It's been pretty stable for a while, but there was a time when we couldn't have 2 people in HD.
Yeah, I mean we were struggling. I don't think I am in HD.
And I mean, Google should pay us. I mean, we're testing this thing every week.
Stress testing.
Benchmarking for them.
Stress testing it. Yeah. To the nth degree. I'm just looking. So 15 people on a call. It says. So I'm just looking to see if there's any other interest. That's not particularly compelling so far. In fact, you can restrict your posts to the domain. Yeah. Well, okay. Oh, I thought they were going to charge for them, so that's why they're calling them premium features.
Yeah, that's what I thought first as well.
But they're not charging for them. Okay.
I don't get it. It doesn't say. And it advertised them to me. I could use them, apparently.
Okay.
I haven't chosen.
Fair enough.
You pay for it with your data.
You always pay
corporate
something. No such thing as a free lunch.
They go straight from your 15-person HD hangout straight to the NSA.
Mm-hmm. Final story then, Wikipedia. They've tightened up their rules on PR content.
There was a big controversy, I think we talked about before as well, with the sock puppets. PR company who had all these fake accounts and stuff. And
do they play soccer?
No.
Maybe.
Soccer. Yeah.
They should do.
They should. Everybody should play football. It's the game of the world game. It makes everything better. Anyway, so there are now very strict rules. If you work for a company and you're being paid, or even if you edit Wikipedia while you're on company time, basically, you have to basically say in your on your personal page and stuff, you have to disclaim who you work for.
Okay.
It's not going to be on a page itself, so you have to dig it up. It's stupid, but still, it's info you can find, and they have threatened sanctions and stuff like.
But how will they police this? That's what I don't know. They'll ban you off Wikipedia or something. If you're ban your account or whatever.
I mean, it's pretty obvious when people post all this shilling stuff. And I mean, this comes after several big PR agencies have signed a manifest where they basically said we're gonna do this. We are gonna do this anyway. We will commit to doing this because their business as well.
So
the real problem is here, like the FCC could get, the FTC could get involved and stuff. I mean, the problem here is, I don't know if people realize this, but Wikipedia is used a lot. I mean, Jimbo tells students not to use it for stuff, but I mean, media relies on this very heavily. And,
I mean, lots of people do. I mean, it's a source for all kinds of things.
What you shouldn't do is just blindly accept it. Like you should. I routinely look into the version history and stuff, and you even there you can see when stuff's been reverted very often. That kind of triggers a flag and stuff. You don't even have to know that somebody's from a PR agency, but some guy keeps putting in this positive stuff about the company and it gets removed every 5 minutes again. Then you pretty much know what's going on. Then you know that you have to be very careful with that. I kind of,
it's going to sound strange, but I know why I kind of miss the days when politicians were regularly getting in trouble for like in their intents to deface other politicians' websites. Wikipedia pages. So there was two senators, I think, in America, who just a long time ago now, but they got in a lot of trouble because they basically kept defacing each other's Wikipedia pages and putting things on there or getting interns and whatever people in their office to do it. Okay then, so
Brazil still can't score. They keep trying, but they're not getting anywhere.
How long is left? There can't be very long left now. 10 minutes? 5 minutes? Wow, okay.
And Mexico's playing pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Mexico, they look quite good in their first game, actually.
Allah, Mexico.
Mm.
It sounded kind of like Allah. Allah Akbar.
Allah Akbar, yeah. Admiral Akbar.
350.
Yeah. Admiral Akbar. I don't know why I made me think of that. All right, and so shall we? It's a trap, yeah. Shall we get into the second half of the show then? Which probably won't be a full half, but we'll see. It might be a second quarter. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't work.
Now entering second half of show. There you go.
Okay.
I'm laying low on the soundboard because it was crapping out.
Yeah.
It was crapping out in the intro. It's actually on a netbook.
Oh, okay. After you saying who uses a netbook.
Yes, exactly. And I think the SSD is dying, so it's kind of like.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's
kicking things under my desk here. Sorry.
What that kind of show? It's just falling apart. It's like the Brazilian attack. It's falling apart.
Apparently.
Yeah. So I don't know. I need a new solution for this. Netbooks suck.
You're gonna thank.
Oh, I have to thank. Speaking of 350, I have to thank all the people who gave us 350.
Did they give us 350?
Well, there were people who, there's people who give us $5
more than that
dollars a month, and there's quite a few people now who have recurring donations.
Yeah.
And we got a really generous donation the other day from Remy Van Elst, who also I think wrote in and mentioned this.
His email's coming up later in the show.
Yeah. And it's cool. It just goes into a PayPal account, which I only use to pay the servers, which is good. And sometimes when we play music and there's a guy on Bandcamp, whatever, and it's Creative Commons music, I'll buy like the album for $10 or something, to kick back some of that money. I think that's in the spirit of our listeners.
Yeah.
So there's a list of people who have donated, which is not up to date as I speak, but I'll get it up to date as soon as possible on the website of people who have donated. And then, of course, Flatter. We can't forget Flatter. There's lots of people who still flatter us, which also helps. It's a good way to pitch in a bit.
It does. Flatter's really cool. I think a lot of I always say this with Rat Hole Radio as well. It really does make a difference, the Flatter thing. I think a lot of people think it doesn't make any difference, or it's not really important, but it does make a difference. If you click those Flatter buttons, it really does make a difference.
It does, and I mean, we have actually our main service now hosted by Bytemark, which is free. But we still have stuff on CDNs and stuff I need to, mainly because I need to import it from the other service, and I just haven't had time. That's just, I think it's coming to a point where I think sometime this year we'll have.
Why don't we use some of the money to pay someone to do it for us?
Yeah,
or something, or get a volunteer or something. Can we get an intern? Can we get an intern?
What I need to do is I need to take a few days off work. I think that's what we're gonna have to do at some point.
Yep. Right, so we got some emails to talk about. It's been a couple of weeks, so there's a few emails. We had one from I don't know how you pronounce this name. It's probably wrong, but Jan Skowron. Sauron. The Eye of Skowron.
It sounds like Gowron from Star Trek.
Oh, maybe I think they've. I think they're Sauron, but there you go. The Eye of Skowron.
Chancellor Gowron.
Yeah. So I'm just going to call him Jan. So we had an email from Jan, who said. Not Wildeboar, who said, "Thank you for playing one of the Luke Hash songs on Linux Outlaws and letting me discover him. He's a Polish composer of modern music played on Game Boys and other funky electronic equipment. Usually I do not like this kind of music. I am a fan of Metallica and Iron Maiden, me too, although I like electronic music too. But I am very but I very much appreciate all music if it has strong melodic features underneath an aggressive shell. Okay, this is why I liked this Lukash song, and I have recently downloaded all of his albums from Jamendo. Beside the music,
Cool.
the two awesomely funny features of this guy are that he is a Pole, apparently, just as I am.
That's fun.
Yeah, apparently, and that he publishes. Yeah, it says funny. I don't know. Two awesome features.
Oh
Sorry,
my God.
the two awesome features of what?
We're in overtime and Mexico nearly scored. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I think I may have put the funny in there. It's actually reading back. It just says the two awesome features of this guy.
Ben,
Sorry.
putting the funny in your emails.
In polls, yeah. Two awesome features of this guy are that he is a
email
Pole.
from Anna later on.
Yeah, Pole, just as I am, and he publishes his work under freely under Creative Commons license. Just as you guys do, and he says, and donations are the way to support his art. So, very cool.
Did you say his arse?
His arse, yeah, supports his arse, yeah. He sells his arse under a free license or something. No, I shouldn't say that. No, Lukash, yeah, very good. I played I played some on Rat Hole Radio, and then we did play a song by
Now that you
Lukash.
say that makes sense that he's from Poland.
It does, yeah, it does. So thank you to Jan for that one.
Sorry, I was distracted by the game. We had an email from Robert Bunting.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing name. He's written to the show before, I think. You have my permission to dive. Best pun I've heard this week. Had me grinning for ages. Love Bane puns.
Yeah, I was very proud of that. I said it about 4 or 5 times. I couldn't, but you didn't seem to really react to it. But I did keep saying it.
I listened back to it.
Yeah.
On the recording, and I think I just didn't. Sometimes the quality, like even with the Hangout, isn't as good.
Yeah,
Like,
you lose
especially
things. Yeah.
When I say something, or you have the same thing. When I say something, it'll like mute you for a bit, or it'll like mix you down.
Yeah.
And so sometimes this happens. Sometimes I will not get something, and sometimes I notice you don't get jokes when I say them because
You lose bits of the conversation. Yeah.
it just happens.
It does. Yeah. It does seem to
It
happen.
wasn't that I thought you weren't funny.
No, I didn't think it was. I was hurt. I was hurt that you didn't think it was funny. No.
Just reminds me of the time when Dan came up to me and wanted to be fiddy.
Yeah, and I was dressed as a scout girl or something. You'll hear that in a minute. Why that makes sense.
The scout girl was 5 stories.
It was kind of beardy. Yeah.
5 stories tall.
Thanks to Robert for that. I did put
it at all. You're the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah. God damn it, monster. Yeah. So, but that's coming up at the end, so stay tuned for that. And he said, well, how about 2 fiddy? Oh, no, it's only 2 fiddy! Anyway, so we had an email from Gary, who the subject line of this email was clearly no ball clamp in
Game
use.
over. Game over. 0-0.
No. Wow. They're going to be
We
a
didn't
lot of
miss
upset
that,
Brazilians.
No.
Although they've got 4 points, so I think they might be through after that. Actually, Mexico and them should both have 4 points. Didn't they both win their opening games? So that means that they can both go through.
Still
now.
a very disappointing game from Brazil, I'd say.
Yeah, slow start for them.
It's their fucking hometown. They should.
Yeah, it's a slow start. The subject line of this email was clearly no ball clamp in use. It says Slate magazine recently ran an article on the music of L. Ron Hubbard of Scientology fame. It says it is so bad it is good. Is there a Linux connection? ? Well, there isn't one. But I'm sure if L. Ron Hubbard were alive today, he would be strictly a command line user running FreeBSD on the desktop or something equally insane.
Are we talking about the Scientology dude here?
Yeah, you've got to hear this, man, because there's clearly no ball clamp in use on this. When I heard it, I thought, is this real? So I'm going to play a little clip of it. This is L. Ron Hubbard singing a song that he wrote the words to, apparently.
We're gonna play a clip from L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, wait till you hear it. It's you couldn't take this guy seriously. It's called The Road to...
L. Ron Hubbard. He started a religion where you can't have drugs, while he was cruising around the Mediterranean on a boat full of drugs and naked underage girls for years.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He also said the easiest way to make money was to start a religion, and then he started a religion, and everyone went, Oh, and nobody thought that it was odd that he started a religion after saying it's the easiest way to make money.
Well, he certainly sucked as a science fiction writer, I can do that much.
Yeah, and anyway, so this is, believe it or not, this is music and words written by L. Ron Hubbard. But wait till you hear his voice. It's quite, I'm not going to play too much of it, but it is quite hilarious. Definitely no ball clamp in use. It's kind of funky. Listen to this. It's like a 70s TV cop show or something. No, a game show theme, yeah. He apparently wrote the music as well. This is called Thank You for Listening.
Thank you for listening. I write just for you. When others hearing this may find things they would argue.
That apparently qualifies as singing.
I do not sing what I believe. I only give them facts. If they believe quite otherwise, it still will have impact.
Yeah, I'm going to fade that out. Sounds like Miami Sound Machine are supporting him in the background there. Yeah, it's pretty awful, but we'll put a link in.
This is from an album called The Road to Freedom.
Yeah.
The Road to Freedom is a 1986 record album by Al Record, as in not record breaking, by L. Ron Hubbard and friends. Artists that worked on the album include John Travolta, Chick Corea, Leif Garrett, Frank Stallone, and Karen Black. Well, now that I know that the gay ghost was involved, I'm not. Yeah. It's no wonder it's shit.
Well, he is a Scientologist, isn't he?
Yeah, of course he
Travolta.
is. He likes penis.
Yeah.
That's bad. But.
Yeah, and I'm laughing at I'm made the mistake of starting to read some of the YouTube comments, which, as you know, are always a bit dubious. But the first one starts with, even when he's singing, quotations, Hubbard is childish and arrogant and egocentric. So there you go. Everyone but me lies. Everyone but me lies. Apparently, but was what he used to say. Okay, fair enough. So we should not believe anyone else, just him, of course. So I thought it was quite funny, actually. I did like the attempt at singing. Very nice. So thank you to Gary for that one.
Yeah, sorry, I'm looking at images of L. Ron Hubbard.
He's a weird looking
He
guy.
liked Navy stuff, didn't he? This is why it was the Sea Orc, wasn't it? That was.
He should have done a cover of In the Navy. In the Navy. He could have done it in this kind of style.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, where were we? That was the L. Ron Hubbard. Lay. Just a quick note. Did you put that question mark in?
No, I didn't know.
It's just a quick note.
Question mark. I don't know why, but that was their choice of words.
It's pretty quick. Just a quick note to say how much I enjoy the show. Being a recent convert, thanks to Dan/Floss Weekly, I've caught the last 6 or so shows, and whilst I don't agree with every word, well, you shouldn't. That would be horrible. I keep coming back for more. You can't ask for more. No, we can't really. I was going to pick up the vocalist in Dan's band until Fab dropped the bombshell.
It's L. Ron Hubbard.
In a ball clamp. Yeah, it's L. Ron Hubbard with a ball clamp.
It's L. Ron Hubbard with a ball clamp. So.
From his grave. Guess I'll just have to give Dan his well-earned kudos. Bugger.
Thank you.
Forgot to give a thumbs up for Dan's regional accents and Fab's rants. Or my native accent. More! I thought fully spaced this email as per...
Yeah, I butchered that.
Oh, as per BBC, 1 sentence per paragraph. Oh, yes, I remember this. I remember this email because of that, yes.
It did come in as 1 sentence per paragraph, yeah.
And I can't read because I don't have much sleep. And it's Oliver Kahn is a white outline behind me, which is distracting the hell out of me.
He looks like he's made of light, yeah.
He is. 1 sentence per paragraph. Guidelines, which I know Fab enjoys immensely. I want to know why they do this. If somebody from BBC is listening, please tell me. Fab@600.org. Fab enjoys immensely, but hopefully it makes it easier for Dan to read. Well, I'm reading it, and it doesn't help.
I didn't read it anyway.
I was taking it out.
I did read it, so it did make me, it did make me read it. Easier to read.
Drop the banana! for quote of the year.
When
Say
did
it,
we say
guys.
drop? When did we say drop the banana? I don't remember.
That was the show title.
Oh, sorry, right. Okay. Okay, so thank you to Lee for
I
that.
have no idea how that came about. I've already forgotten that again.
It doesn't matter. It came about because it did.
Because we're silly.
Yeah, Alistair Christ, man.
Awesome.
Christ, man. Alistair Christ, man.
We got an email from Jesus.
It's strange spelling of Alistair. I haven't seen it spelled like that before. Anyway, so it looks like A. Lister. Maybe it's Dave Lister. So Alistair says, I just want to drop you a line to say thanks for a great podcast. I found your show at the start of the year. It was odd listening to a mad German to start with, but I have grown to it, and you are now my favourite podcast, and I get up and put you to the top of my playlist, which makes my 1 hour 1 hour long Monday morning drive to work enjoyable. Also, great work on the £20 album. I just put all this stuff in because it's all good news about me.
Basically, this show's like a ball clamp. At first, it's weird, but then you start enjoying it.
Yeah. After a while, the pain subsides and it starts to feel good. You can. It says, you've probably been. Sorry, yeah. I put this in because I thought we'd clear it up. This, it says probably been asked this before, but the intro music, is it part of a song? ?
Yeah, that.
And it says hope to see you at OggCamp, my first one. So that's very cool. We will see you at OggCamp. That'd be cool.
Actually, wrote it back, I think.
You did, yeah. But I thought just for the benefit of anyone else who doesn't know, the song at the start, the music intro music, is something that a very, very long time ago. I think it was the third or fourth show that came in. Fab.
Originally, no, it was in the first show. Like the version I did, which was.
Oh
shitty.
yeah, but not the kind of the super duper version.
The actually a song version.
Yeah. So
the first version kind of sounded like L. Ron Hubbard on guitar.
It did a little bit. Yeah, just in case anyone is curious who doesn't know, it's a long way back in history now. You're going back like 7 years nearly.
Yeah.
Fab wrote the tune on guitar and sent me the sound file basically. I took a bit of that and cut it up and changed it and changed the arrangement and stuff, and then came back with what you hear now. So it is a completely custom, it's our tune if you like. And there's so many versions. We haven't played them in a long time, but
we should.
There's like a trumpet version, an accordion version, classical piano version.
Yeah.
The bagpipe version. There's like anything you can think of.
Version.
People have done versions of, yeah, and it's cool. It's very cool.
2 Game Boy 8-bit versions.
Oh yeah, an 8-bit version. Yeah, you're right.
By the way, on this they show the players on the pitch, right? And they're all like congratulating each other, and they're all really happy.
Mm-hmm. That's because they're probably both through.
Yeah, that's what. Since you said that, I think this was rigged.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
I think they had the fucking. They were saying, don't. Nobody cause any goals, and we'll both through.
Well, if I'm right, that means they're both through. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain that means they're both qualified because they both got 4 points now, and I don't think anyone else can get past it because the other teams have got 0 points. Mind you, maybe no. So the other teams play each other tomorrow. So if one of them wins, then okay, they'd have 3 points, and then someone else could still get through. Maybe it's not, but it's not a bad result for the.
It's rigged.
Yeah.
It's my verdict. Anyway, yeah.
So thank you to Alistair for the email, and then we got the one from Remy that you mentioned earlier. Oh well, we kind of alluded to.
I'm just going to turn this TV off because I keep seeing it from the side.
It's distracting.
Driving me fucking insane. Anyway, Remy Van Els, who's written to the show before, he's supported the show for a long time, and he says, first, audio levels, 1 word, perfect. No other podcast without a producer or team producers behind it has such good audio as you do. Okay, maybe bad voltage. Who's that?
I don't know them. Sorry.
But they have a semi-producer. They have a semi?
They've got a semi? Right, okay. Nice.
Maybe it helps to be
Their audio is that good, it gives them a semi.
Maybe it helps to be an audio engineer singer. Well, we've got one of those. The ball clamp helps.
Yes. Yeah.
So your audio quality is amazing for such a podcast. Of course, we get this in the episode where I keep headbutting the bloody mic, and it's all horrible. But yeah, we give our best.
We try. me try.
Second, Occamp. I've booked the hotel, the old cheaper one, and bought the ticket. Well, it's like Dan. What is the closest airport? Is
To
that
be honest, this
Heathrow?
is I should have cut
Or
this one
another
out.
one?
This is more of a personal
I
email.
couldn't find it on the site.
He
But
wants
this
to know how he can get
Very
to.
good train connection. Super awesome. There's an Occamp this year.
He keeps calling it Heathrow, and it's Heathrow.
Well, that's actually a good name for it. Actually, having gone through this airport a lot of times,
Right.
Heathrow kind of makes sense.
Heathrow, yeah, but it's Heathrow with a H. Never mind. Yep. Up to number
Yeah,
3.
I think either of the. Basically, I think this is what I plan to do. I think either of the London, maybe not Stansted.
There's 3 London airports.
There's 4.
Actually, there's 4.
There's
Yeah.
Stansted, Luton, City, Heathrow. Probably another one.
No, Luton's not. There's Gatwick. The London airports are
There's
Gatwick. No, well, Luton's not technically a London airport, but it's nearby.
What?
It's not part of London. Luton's a separate town. It's like, an hour north on the motorway. Well, half an hour north on the motorway. But I think Luton's not a bad option. Anyway, I don't know.
Well,
We'll
basically,
try
you
and find
fly
out.
there and then you go by train to Oxford. It's basically.
Yeah, if anybody wants to give Remy, travel advice, feel free. Where are we up to? Number 3.
Wikipedia says it's the fourth largest airport serving the London area.
Yeah, the London area.
Well, I
maybe,
think
but it's not in
It's
London.
called London Luton Airport.
Oh, fair enough. I didn't know.
This is like there's Düsseldorf. There's like a I think it's Düsseldorf-Weeze, which is 100 kilometers. It's like really far away from Düsseldorf. It's like nearly in another federal state. This happens all the time. They just rename airports because it makes it sound.
It's the one that EasyJet lands at.
Yeah, pretty
usually.
much. And then you
And then
like,
there's a half-hour
yeah.
drive to the actual airport and to
Pretty
the
much,
to
yeah.
the terminal. All right, and so where are we up to? Number 3 on his list of points, I think.
sorry, yeah. Off-topic Outlaws/Fab rants. I like the evolution, maturing of the show. Your personalities match and make up most of what I like about the show. It's the magic between the hosts that makes or breaks the podcast.
It's magic. Sorry. Sorry.
Stuff like that. Even if there's 45 minutes of Fab ranting or going off topic at the start of the show, it doesn't matter. I like it. Keep it up. For
Cool.
a surprise, just donated a bit to celebrate you guys reaching show 350.
Trip.
He didn't donate a bit. He donated a lot. He probably single-handedly is keeping the server running for 3 months.
Wow. Very cool.
Well
and it'd be very cool to meet him finally after so much kind of
definitely.
exchanging of emails, and he even sent me a Christmas card a couple of times.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we'll find out he's 5 stories tall.
Maybe. And he
keeps
might
demanding
want
350.
might be from the Paleozoic area or Paleozoic area? I can't remember. Anyway,
Who the hell?
So
what
thanks,
did they
thanks.
smoke to come up with that?
yeah, thanks to Remy for that.
Yes.
Look forward to seeing you in Oxford, however you get there. Tom Kent, finally, this is our last email. For
Remember,
this.
Luton is not in London.
Yeah, it wasn't Thomas. No, maybe I've got it wrong. I thought Thomas Kent was the name of the guy in Superman's like adopted dad. There's
You
Thomas
keep
and Martha.
thinking that names
maybe.
of people are in movies
Jonathan,
today.
sorry, it's Jonathan. Isn't it? It's not Martha Kent. Sorry. Anyway, moving on. I just, I'm who knows? My brain's overloaded at this point.
It sounds like symptoms of a stroke.
Something like that. Yeah. It's constantly thinking someone's a film character from a film. He says, Tom Kent, you mentioned on the last episode that there are some projects out there that are trying to resurrect the TrueCrypt project and their potential licensing issues. We did mention that, and we also mentioned it on this show. He says, I just wanted to mention that those running Linux already have an alternative implementation of TrueCrypt, which is called TC Play. He gives a link to the GitHub. Despite the name having play in it, it is not a read-only implementation, and you can use it to read, write, and create TrueCrypt volumes and hidden volumes on Linux or BSD. It uses DM-crypt behind the scenes instead of trying to completely rebuild its own implementation of the TrueCrypt crypto, but could probably still benefit from an audit to make sure the devs didn't make any mistakes. He says there is no pretty GUI, although that actually there's an update to that in a minute. Anyway, there's a script apparently you can use. Someone put together a script that automates the 3 major steps you have to do to read and write data, attach the loop device, run TC play mapper, and then mount the map device. So he gives a link to the script. He says, I thought your listeners might be interested in knowing that the Linux/BSD community already has another option, something Windows users aren't going to have in the immediate future. It says, thanks for a great show. And then a little while later, another email came in with an update. It says, a quick addendum to my last email. I since learned that there is a GUI for TC Play command line utility for TrueCrypt volumes. It's called ZuluCrypt. I've never tried it out, but I wanted to mention this as well. And there's a link there, so that'll be in the show notes as well. I don't know anything about TC Play. I've not tried it.
The biggest problem with this is that it's only for Linux.
Yeah.
The thing about TrueCrypt is that it's cross-platform, which is kind of important if you do disk encryption, because many people have more than one operating system.
Yeah, they do.
If you do it on an external drive. And as he says, I mean, we also have been looking at this for CT, especially the Encrypt. And yes, it is there, but as far as I know, it's not being audited, really. And we were talking last show. Actually, I forgot about the EncFS audit, and that didn't turn out really well.
True.
So the problem with EncFS is basically they're saying if an attacker sees encrypted data more than once, you're probably fucked. Which is not good. And yeah, I don't know. I'll look at the Encrypt. I am currently actually researching this topic, unsurprisingly. It's currently a big focus of my work. So if I find out stuff, and I'm sure I will, I'll be sure
report
to
back
on the show. The good stuff is that I actually get paid to do this, so I can and then also talk about it on the show for free.
Excellent.
Eliza.
But don't tell anyone, yeah. So thanks to Tom Kent for that one. If you want to send us an email, you can do. You need to send it to linuxoutlaws@sixgun.org. That's linuxoutlaws@sixgun.org. And being that we're up to like 2 hours and 10 minutes or something, or 2 hours and 5 minutes, maybe we should play a song.
Asleep.
We'll play a song and then get out of here. So I want to play a song by a group called T-Bird and the Breaks, who I really, really like.
Yes, they're great.
Yeah, they're from Austin, Texas. And this is off an album of theirs, which I bought off Bandcamp. And as I always say, support artists if you like the music. Not now that I've got a horse in this race, I should say, I should really say, make sure if you hear some music that you like, that you support the artist.
I said that earlier. I do that a lot.
Yeah, I do myself. So I buy.
At Bandcamp, I stuck flute in my pussy.
I buy loads of stuff off Bandcamp and other places for Rat Hole Radio, and this is Creative Commons license. I think I could have got it on Jamendo or somewhere else, but I went to support the artist. And it's called Monkey in a Tree, and it's off an album called Never Get Out of This Funk Alive by T-Bird and the Breaks, and it's awesome. It's funky. It's cool, and I just realised I'm gonna have to keep talking because I haven't actually queued it up.
I was gonna say this sounds like retro radio sometimes. You're like chilling because you're looking for the button or whatever.
Sorry. Here we go.
I like it. It gives it a special atmosphere.
Yeah, it does. All right, so I think I'm ready now. So shall we sign off and say sayonara for now?
Let's do this, and good luck, whoever you're supporting in the World Cup. Yeah.
Unless they play in Germany.
Unless they play Germany, at which point you're fucked because we have Müller.
All right, and so this is T-Bird and the Breaks and Monkey in a Tree. We'll catch you next time. Take it easy.
Listen to me, I got something to say. Yeah, listen to me, I got something to say. I get my bones. Yeah, when I see you walking away. Just a little bit of side to side. It makes me weak in the knees. Oh, just a little bit of side to side. Hey, it makes me so weak in the knees. I wanna climb all over your loving, baby, just like a monkey through the trees. Yeah. When I first met you, baby, you said your name was Lily. Now they call you Nelson, 'cause you smoke more than me. I tried to take you out to fancy dinner in the Eddie V's. You start dancing on the table and making eyes for HDs. You're falling out of all types of clothes you've been trying to wear. But just as long as you save me some, I don't mind if you share. Good God Almighty, you got me twitching like a meth head on a 7-day bender. It's alright. I get an evil feeling up to my bones when I see you walking away. Baby, 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 I'm down on my knees. Yes, I am. Let me tell you now, baby, 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 I'm down on my knees. Please, let me climb all over your loving, baby, just like a monkey through the tree. You look good, and I don't mind. So fine, monkey in a tree, 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 monkey in a tree.
That was the third time we saw the Loch Ness Monster. Then one time, I believe it was July. August. There's a knock on the door. I open it, and there's this cute little Girl Scout.
Oh, she was so adorable with the little pigtails and all.
And she says to me, how would you like to buy some cookies? And I said, well, what kind do you have? She had Thin Mints, Graham Crunchy Thins,
Raisin oatmeal.
Raisin Oatmeal. And I said, we'll take a Graham Crunch. How much would that be? And she looks at me and she says, I need about $3.50.
$3.50.
Well, it was about that time that I noticed this Girl Scout was about 8 stories tall and was a crustacean from the Plesiosaurus.
The Loch Ness Monster.
I said, damn it, Monster, get off my lawn. I ain't giving you no $3.50. It said, how about just 250? I said, oh, now it's only 250. What is that, sale on Loch Ness Munchies or something?
Lord, he was angry.
Damn right I was angry.
Not you, the monster. He was about to kick your ass.
Shut your mouth, woman.
Could you just tell Chef we were here?
Sure, that crazy old monster.
I love that so much.
Shut your mouth, woman.
Damn right I was angry.
Man, he's a monster. He's about to kick your ass. Yeah, okay, so
Guy.
it was a long show. It's good though.
Who's in Germany? Yeah.
Also, I love that song. You should go and check it out, people.
It's an awesome song.
It is very good. As I mentioned in the IRC, I love the lyrics in that song. They're amazing. It's got that line where it says, when I first met you, you said your name was Lily, and now they call you Nelson because you smoke more shit than Willie. Which I thought was very good. Very good, very good. T-Bed and the Breaks, check them out. They're really cool. And they're funky. All right, then. I'm going to sign off. You've got to be up in like 4 or 5 hours or something, haven't you?
I'm not getting up that early tomorrow. No.
Oh, good, good.
Getting them in Hamburg.
Good.
What's that other game? Is there still a game?
There's a game on after this. I can't remember what it is now. It'll be Costa Rica and somebody. Won't it?
I might fall asleep before that starts.
It'll be Costa Rica and Croatia, is it, or something? I forget now. No, not Costa Rica. It's Croatia and
Russia. No, there's a game tomorrow. No, wait.
I thought Croatia were playing.
No, it's Russia, Korea.
Oh, is it? Oh, so Croatia don't play till tomorrow. Oh, right. Okay.
Croatia plays against Cameroon tomorrow.
All right.
And Australia against the Netherlands and Spain against Chile. That's gonna be a hot game.
Could be. Yeah, the Spanish need to find some heat. Let's bring some heat. All right, and so enough of World Cup Outlaws for now. We should probably sign off and kill the broadcast anyway.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, I'm killing the Ice Ghost.
See ya.
See ya, folks. Oh, okay, that is now off.